Welcome back, horror fans, to another badass franchise review by yours truly, Eric Harrison, here on Effin' Genius. And it is that time of year again, so let's talk about some Halloween movies. First up on the list, John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978. Roll clip.
The one, the only, the classic Halloween.
I think he'll come back.
Halloween, the night he came home. Rated R.
John Carpenter's horror classic Halloween came out in 1978. Like its antagonist, it is still going, still making movies. The franchise will not die. The essential premise is that some little kid in 1950s something, for no apparent reason, just decided to kill his sister one Halloween night. They put his ass away in a mental institute. 15 years later, he decides to relive and recreate that night from 15 years prior.
Are you alright? You're alright?
Yes, I'm okay.
He's gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone.
I don't know why this movie just lives in my heart for some reason. My whole life, really, I've always been a fan of it, even from a very, very young age. I think it's something fundamental about the boogeyman. It's like your worst nightmare because you don't know really who it is behind that mask. I mean, you know it's Michael Myers, but you don't know who the hell Michael Myers is. You don't know why he does the things he does. You don't know why he's after you. You know, you don't understand what keeps him going, what's his drive. I can't exactly remember the very first time I seen the movie. I remember being very young and being familiar with Michael Myers in the Halloween movies. He haunted my nightmares, to be honest with you. The guy is a scary motherfucker. I think he was every kid's worst nightmare growing up in the 80s like I did. But I do remember, even though it scared the crap out of me, there was a draw there. Like, I was really intrigued and fascinated by it.
Totally.
To this day, Halloween is still a big selling movie, and that is pretty impressive. 35 years later, people still buying this movie, people still watching this movie, people still talking about this movie, like yours truly right now. So I think one of the biggest attractions about this movie is it was masterfully crafted by John Carpenter. Really, he did such a great job. Once they introduced Laurie Strode, the character, the first 30 minutes of the movie is set in daytime in neighborhoods and stuff like that, places we're familiar with, we're comfortable with, places we've all been, so we can recognize and we can relate to those places. And the fact that it's set in the daylight is just such a stroke of genius, because all horror movies don't need to take place completely at night. The fact that it's in daylight makes it even creepier. One of the techniques I really like is how John Carpenter would keep Michael away from the camera, like he'd be down the street or something. So you're seeing a shape, but you're not exactly sure who it is or what it is you're looking at. You just see some creepy guy standing there. There's also the scene where the kids are picking on little Tommy Doyle, and when the bully runs away and he runs right into Michael's arms, they don't show Michael from the head up, from the neck up. They just show his shoulders and part of his torso. Like, again, that's awesome, keeping the mystery. You don't need to just show Michael right in front of the camera all the time, which is what they started to do in the sequels. The pacing of the movie is just another brilliant thing. Of course, it starts out with the classic opening, which appears to be one shot. It's actually 2 or 3 shots, but very well put together to make it look like it's one continuous shot. But after that, you know, you have the killing in the beginning, but after that, it really slows down and takes its time. It takes its time building up through the beginning to the middle, and then around the middle of the film, that's when night falls, and he still takes his time. He builds it up a little bit more. Around the hour mark is when it starts to accelerate in pace. The pace picks up, and once it starts to gain momentum, it's like a snowball effect. It just gets faster and faster until the end chase between Michael and Laurie is pulse pounding, and you're on the edge of your seat, because the pacing of this movie was so purposefully and geniusly crafted that way, to just start out slow and build momentum, and then just it becomes like a freight train that it becomes so fast, it's got so much momentum, it can't be stopped. All the way through to the very last frame, it's awesome. The score, you can't mention Halloween, the movie, without mentioning the score. Again, another thing John Carpenter did brilliantly. Played the entire score for this movie, really creepy, and it never lets up. It plays throughout any scene. Could be Laurie walking to school in the morning, creepy music playing. You know, no gentle movie cinematic music. No, it's creepy as shit. And all she's doing is walking in the daylight going to school. So basically all around, everything about the movie is great. As you know, the mask was a William Shatner mask, kind of modified, painted white. They were thinking about going with a clown mask. I'm glad they stuck with the Shatner mask. I think they liked the humanness of it, but the inhumanness at the same time. And I couldn't agree more. That mask was actually bought at Burt Wheeler's costume shop on, get this, 6660 Hollywood Boulevard. That shop has changed over time. It is now a tattoo parlor. I think it's called Zebra Tattoo or something like that. Nick Castle plays the Shape great in this movie. He doesn't look like he's really trying hard. He's just being a person. Just a person that's a little disassociated. That's what I get from it. In the sequels, Michael starts to walk slower and doesn't move his arms, and he becomes a little zombie-like, which I don't like. I like the way Nick Castle played him in the first one, which is he's still got a human quality, but he just seems like he's disassociated from reality. It gives an added touch of creepiness to him, because you can still kind of sense humanness in the way he moves. He is still a person, he's just a deranged, really psychologically disturbed person. But anyway, yeah, this is the movie that gave Jamie Lee Curtis her career boost. It gave her her start. It's her first official feature-length movie. She became the Scream Queen after that. She did a really good job, great actress. She really embodied the Girl Scout image, if you will. My favorite movie. I watch it all the time. Alright, I'll stop kissing ass now. 5 out of 5 stars, of course, from Eric Harrison for Halloween 1978. Alright guys, thanks for indulging me as I gushed over my favorite movie. You know the drill, leave your comments, leave your likes and all that business. I'll catch you guys on the next video. It's going to be Halloween 2. See you there. F***ing ingenious.